Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl. Today we're going to be doing a flower and plant themed book haul. Alright, so we are doing Books in Bloom in just a couple days. This is my flower and plant themed readathon. This is our second year doing it. So we are reading books either about flowers and plants or books with flowers and plants on the cover. You can choose which way you want to do it. This haul is going to be pretty much just books about flowers and plants and anything that I have collected that fits that category since last year's readathon. I do a lot of book hunting at Goodwills and library bookstores, so I'm able to get books usually for under $3, so that's why the hauls can be a little bit bigger. We have a nice stack that I'm going to share with you today. I will try to tell you where I got everything from, and hopefully this will give you some ideas for your flower TBR or just for spring in general. One of the only ones that I paid like a regular price for was The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. I did not have a copy of this, which is shocking because The Spell Shop is one of my favorite books and I was really excited for this one. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I plan to get to it for the readathon, so I'm not going to go over the TBR here because I will do it in my readathon TBR. I spent $15 for this one, which I'm not super happy about because it is on Bookoutlet for like $10, but in order to get free shipping I'd have to spend like $30, and I just wanted to make sure I had it in time for the readathon. So I went ahead and spent more than I normally would, but I know I'm gonna love it, so I am very excited for it. I found these next few at library bookstores. Okay, we have The Cloisters from Katie Hayes. So it doesn't appear to be flower and planty upon first looking at it. However, when Anne Stillwell arrives in New York City, she expects to spend her summer working at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Instead, she finds herself assigned to the Cloisters, a Gothic museum and garden renowned for its collection of medieval art and enigmatic researchers. Patrick Rowland, the charismatic curator, specializes in the history of the tarot. Rachel Mondre, Patrick's brilliant curatorial associate, and Leo Bitberg, the garden charger with cultivating the museum's poisonous plants. So it has like a lot of divination. It's giving me a little bit of like the Diviners vibes. I'm not sure what time it's set in, but it sounds so good. Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranak. Liska knows that magic is monstrous and its practitioners are monsters. She has done everything possible to suppress her own magic, desperate to be free of it. Liska flees into the dangerous demon-inhabited forest to steal a mythical fern flower. She can use its one wish to banish her power. And I know there's a romance in here. I think this is a young adult standalone, and I've heard really good things. Wayward by Amelia Hart. I've heard such good things about this one. This is an adult standalone. In 2019, under cover of darkness, Kate flees London to Wayward Cottage, inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown garden, the cottage is worlds away from the abusive partner who tormented Kate. But she begins to suspect that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. And then we're following her relatives, I think, from 1619 and 1942, and it ties all of these women together, but we have lots of plant and garden cottage elements. Lies Like Poison by Chelsea Pitcher. Poppy, Lily, and Belladonna would do anything to protect their best friend Raven, so when they discovered he was suffering abuse at the hands of his stepmother, they came up with a lethal plan. Petals of Poppy, Belladonna, and Lily in her evening tea so she'd never be able to hurt Raven again. But someone got cold feet and the plot faded to a secret of the past and the group fell apart. 3 years later, on the eve of Raven's 17th birthday, his stepmother turns up dead. It's only Belladonna found in her tea, and it's only Belladonna who's carted off to jail. Desperate for help, Belle reaches out to her estranged friends to prove her innocence. So we've got a poisonous plant element in here as well. Okay, I have a non-fiction book that is Flower Confidential by Amy Stewart. She is the author of The Drunken Botanist and Wicked Plants, which are two of my favorite books ever. They are non-fiction depictions of plants. The Drunken Botanist are all plants that are used to create alcohol and booze and their origins. And then Wicked Plants is all about poisonous plants. She has such a way of writing and describing things that make it so interesting and so fun. So this is Flower Confidential. It's told very differently than the other two that have like a lot of pictures and sections. This one's told in actual chapters. Does it matter that a bouquet of roses travels halfway around the world before it arrives at your supermarket or florist? Or that growers force tulips to bloom in December? Are we being tricked when a scientist engineers a lily that doesn't shed pollen? For over a century, hybridizers, geneticists, farmers, and florists around the world work to invent, manufacture, and sell flowers that are bigger and brighter and sturdier than anything nature could provide. Almost any flower in any color is for sale at any time time of year. Amy Stewart travels the globe to take us inside this dazzling world, and she tracks down scientists intent on developing the first genetically modified blue rose, an eccentric horticulture legend who creates the world's most popular lily, the stargazer, a breeder of gerberas of every color imaginable, and an Ecuadorian farmer growing exquisite high-end organic roses that are the floral equivalent of a Tiffany diamond. It sounds so interesting. Okay, these next few I actually got for Christmas because I had them on a list or people just got them for me. So we have the Green Witch's Guide to Herbal Magic, a handbook of green earthcraft and plant-based spellcraft. I have a little bit of witchiness in my bones. So this is just about when to plant things and herbs to drink under the full moon and intentions behind infusing oils. And it just is like a really beautiful book. It's got a lot of recipes in it as well, and just brings a little mysticalness to our lives. So it looks incredible. The Wild Crafted Cocktail by Ellen Zachos. Read Ellen Zachos's Backyard Foraging and I was obsessed with it. It had so many colored pictures and it talked about all the plants that are like out in nature that you can forage for, and I'm getting more and more into like foraging for things. And this is about using them in cocktails. I don't really drink, but I can usually make things into a mocktail. So like pickled crab apples, quick pickled daylily buds, pink peppercorn salt rims, and just like beautiful pictures. Spruce tips, syrup to use to make cocktails, mocktails, whatever you want to do. So Jeff got me this for Christmas. I think my sweet friend got this for me for my birthday last year, or maybe Christmas. I just saved it to put in this haul. Martha Stewart's Gardening Handbook, because you know, Martha is the queen, and this is filled with beautiful pictures of plants, gardening, when to start things, origins behind them, how to sow things. It's just so beautiful. So we're gonna look over this during the readathon, and I'm so excited about it. It's so beautiful. The last non-fiction-y one that Jeff also got me for Christmas is Mythic Plants, Potions and Poisons from the Gardens of the Gods. This is also by Ellen Zachos, who did that book that I really love. So it's like the history of plants from our origins and tied back to like Greek heroes and grapes and dittany and all kinds of really cool stuff in here. I cannot wait to dive into this. The next one I got at Barnes & Noble because this was the March Barnes & Noble Cafe pick. It may kind of bleed over into April. They do a $5 book at the Barnes & Noble Cafe when you buy a drink. And then on the website, if you don't have Barnes & Noble near you, you can usually use this to add on to an order. So if you're buying something, you can get this book as a $5 add-on. And for March, it was the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. This is so cute and sparkly. This is by Takuya Azukura. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's just a little novella. Welcome to the Cherry Blossom Bookshop, a haven for book lovers that only appears during the fleeting cherry blossom season. Nestled amidst the bloom of delicate petals, you'll find a sanctuary for those burdened by regrets and past sorrows. Here, Zakura, the serious young owner, and her wise calico cat, Koboko, patiently await the arrival of souls in need of solace and healing. So it's giving me a little bit of like Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Hopefully not quite as like sad as that one is. It's such a sweet book, but it has a lot of sadness to it. Hopefully this will be a little bit more cozy and sweet, but I'll let you guys know because I plan on reading it soon. The only special edition book I have in this haul, and that is 7 Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. This was one of the book picks for Fairy Loot last year. So this is the special edition of it. I get their young adult box. It's so beautiful. I love these end pages, moth sprayed edges. The naked book is super, super cool. Has like kind of like a black and white map. And then the reverse dust jacket is kind of similar to the original cover, but like white and gold. Not fully about like plants, but it has a little tie-in. So I am the darkness, my magic destroys. Viola Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death, for in the kingdom of Aroga, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Viola's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo, 7 thorns on his arm for the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. So he's got like a rose tattoo. So I thought this would work good. It's got moths and rose on the cover. It sounds excellent. Then my friend gave me this sweet little book called The Flower Fairies of Autumn. It's just a tiny little book and it has like a poem with different flower fairies in them and beautiful little drawings, a song of the horse chestnut fairy. So it's just a cute little book to look over. Elderberry fairy, I need like big pictures of that. Okay, these next two I actually found at Dollar Tree. This one I found recently, like only a couple weeks ago, and that is The Enchanted Hacienda by J.C. Cervantes. I almost read this one for my Mexico vacation. I'll put my Mexico vlog where I read books set in Mexico. So there is magic all around us and the possibilities are endless. When Harlow Estrada is abruptly fired from her dream job and her boyfriend proves to be a jerk, the world turns upside down. She flees New York City to the one place she can always call home, the enchanted Hacienda Estrada. The Estrada family farm in Mexico houses an abundance of charmed flowers cultivated by Harlow's mother, sisters, aunt, and cousin. By harnessing the magic in these flowers, they can heal hearts, erase memories, and interpret dreams. But not Harlow. So she doesn't have this magic and she might learn to discover it or find out more about her family, but it sounds fantastic. The Weeds by Katie Simpson Smith. A Mississippi woman pushes through the ruin of the Roman Colosseum searching for plants. She has escaped her life, signed up to catalog all the species growing in this place. Crawling along the stones, she wonders how she has landed here, a reluctant botanist amid a snarl of tourists in comfortable sandals. She hunts for scientific agenda and the direction of her own. In 1854, a woman pushes through the jungle of Roman Colosseum searching for plants. As punishment for her misbehavior, she has been indentured to the English botanist Richard Deacon, for whom she will compile a flora. She is a thief and she must find new ways to use her hands. If only the woman she loves weren't on a boat with a husband. But love isn't always possible. She logs 420 species. It just sounds so interesting and different. So, okay, the rest of these I think I got from Bookoutlet. I'll put my code or my link down below in the description. This is a place where you can get brand new books for usually under $10, and they even do sales where they have them for like $5.99, and they're fairly recent books as well. And so I kind of wait for a sale and I'll put an order in. I think I got almost all of them here. I may have gotten one from like Target. Okay, so Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I haven't read one from her. This one might be too spicy for me. I'm not sure on the spice level. I know it's like an adult romance. Emma Torres is a wedding planner who doesn't believe in marriage, but weddings, they're amazing. Elliot Bloom is a brooding florist who hates owning a flower shop until a certain bright-eyed, donut-loving workaholic shows up at his door. So I think it's like an enemies to lovers. I'm not sure, but he is a florist and she does weddings and they kind of connect. Hey guys, Macy from the future here, popping in because I just got a whole bunch of books in the mail. This is what I came home to today. Probably the largest stack of books I've ever gotten at one time. This is like very unusual. But all of them are for this readathon and they came just in time for me to show you. So I wanted to include them in this book haul. So we're going to go over them now. First up, I found two at the library bookstore. I just got back from running errands. So I found Elizabeth Gilbert and The Signature of All Things. She is the author of Eat, Pray, Love, and I just really enjoy her books. I read Eat, Pray, Love, and I read her Big Magic book, both nonfiction. I think this is a fiction book, so I'm curious to check it out. Soars across the globe from America to Tahiti to tell the story of a brilliant woman named Alma Whitaker, born in 1800, the daughter of a charismatic botanical explorer. Alma comes into her own within the world of plants and science. Her research takes her deeper into the mysteries of evolution, and she falls in love with a man who draws her in the opposite direction into the realm of the spiritual, divine, and the magical. It sounds really good, and of course has to do with a botanist and plant. Then we have Julie and Romeo, and I just like had to pick this up, and this is by Jean Ray. It's a small little book, a deliciously funny and wickedly sexy novel of love found and love threatened by the families who claim to love us best. Romeo Casamani and Julie Roseman are rival florists in Boston whose families have hated each other for as long as anyone can remember. What they can't remember is why. So rival florists and Romeo and Juliet retelling sounds good. Plus this cover is fantastic. I got both of these for $1. Then Target had their buy two get one free sale, or if you buy 2 books you get one free. And I always have like gift cards and Target money from the app that I use that they have. You can get gift cards for like spending $50 on house supplies, and I always kind of stack them up to spend on books. So I got The Alchemy of Flowers. This I believe came out this year. Is an adult standalone. Exhausted by fruitless attempts to make a family, Eloise takes the chance of a lifetime to answer an ad in a French gardening magazine, to fly away from her life in the States and tend to both her shattered heart and the flowers of paradise. Absolutely no children allowed on the premises. Within the high garden walls, Eloise starts to learn the strange rules of the elusive estate owner. Living and working in isolation with her 3 companions, she finds her heart opening again to friendship and realizes she's drawn to the handyman. So we have kind of like a secret garden-ish style book, and it sounds great. A Secret in the Garden, another new new one for 2025. This one has really cool braid edges as well. Some secrets were never meant to be unearthed. Perched in a windswept cliff, Blackwood Manor looms like a dark monument to a mysterious family. Behind its grand iron gates, one part of the estate has been left to rot since the tragic death of Hester Blackwood, the once glorious conservatory now choked by vines and shattering glass. The rest of the family is gone. Only her brooding son, Jasper, remains the heir to a weapons empire. Desperate to save her job and out of options, botanist Eliza Arnold makes a bold gamble to drive to the manor and beg the elusive millionaire for a donation. Jasper agrees on one chilling condition: restore the conservatory alone, no help and no leaving. Again, a little bit of a secret garden retelling, and it looks beautiful. Then we have Predatory Natures by Amy Goldsmith. I have been saving this one since it came out last year, like in my brain, and I finally got it. This one sounds so incredible. It's got like gothic, spooky kind of plant vibes. I am going to go over the synopsis in my TBR because we're doing this one for my TBR video, so stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about it in 2 days, but just know it's going to be awesome. Okay, then the rest of these I got from Pango, and I wanted to show you specifically because Pango is a place where, like I said, you can get used books, and it comes from book lovers. Like, everybody treats their little shop as like their own little online bookstore, and they always come in the condition that they say, if not better. It's like eBay for used books, but in like the best way possible. So they always come like so well packaged. So this was my first order. I got 3 from one shop. I always try to get at least 2 because shipping usually is around $5 to $6, and so it's better if you get more than one book because it only goes up 50 cents to $1 after that. I got this one, which is for Hikeathon, and she sent me the little like newsletter that came with it, I guess, when she got it. We'll talk about that one in a future book haul. And then she sent me some little stickers. This is a Bookworms Belongings Pango book sticker. Everything is like wrapped nicely. This is How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days. When a halfling, pansy, and a goblin, wren, each think they've inherited the same cottage, they make a bargain. They live in the house together, and whoever is driven out first forfeits the ownership. Amid forced proximity and cultural misunderstandings, the two begin to fall in love, but when the cottage and their communities is threatened by a common enemy, the duo must learn to trust each other and convince the goblins and the halflings to band together. So I don't know how much this is going to do with plants, but it has like all the plants on the cover, and it's a cozy fantasy, so it will probably be great. And I got this little flower bookmark with it. How cute. I have a Pango code or a link that I will put down below if you guys want to check it out. If you purchase something, you'll get $5 off your first order, and then I get $5 credit towards future purchases. I'm debating on starting my own Pango shop because I always have books that I'm trying to sell. It's just that you have to list them individually, which is a little bit more difficult for me. So let me know if that's something you think I should do. And then the reason I got this order, Violet Thistlethwaite is not a villain anymore. So this one was new from December last year. I got an arc of it and I never got to it, but I read the first like 2 or 3 chapters and I loved it, and then I just got distracted by life things, so I decided to save it because it's so perfect for this readathon. Again, I'm going to be reading this as one of my main TBR books, so we'll be talking about it in that other TBR video coming out very soon. Then I got this package. She sent me 2 color in yourself bookmarks, and it has like my bookshelf date read and the rating, and then I got 2 books wrapped nicely: a botanist guide to parties and poisons and a botanist guide to flowers and fatalities. I mean, absolutely perfect. I've been wanting to read this one for so long. Again, gonna be on my main TBR. I'll talk about the synopsis in that video, but just know these are perfect. And then my last order, got 2 books. She wrapped them individually, like really fancy. Bubble wrapped them, and she like wrapped them with like a little ribbon. The Peculiar Garden of Harriet Hunt. Harriet Hunt is completely alone. Her father disappeared months ago, leaving her to wander the halls of Sunnyside House, dwelling on a past she'd rather keep buried. She doesn't often venture beyond her front gate, instead relishing the feel of dirt under her fingernails and soft moss beneath her feet. Consequently, she's been deemed a little too peculiar for popular Victorian society. This solitary life suits her fine though, because outside magic waits. Harriet's garden is special. It's a wild place full of twisting ivy, vibrant plumes, and a quiet power that buzzes like bees. Caring for this place and keeping it from running rampant through the streets of her London suburb is Harriet's purpose. So excited. One more from that same shop. I'll try to put a couple links to some flower books that you can find on Pango, maybe some of the ones I've already shown you from like other shops if you guys want to go and check it out. She sent me a lot of stuff with this one. Look how cute. I mean, this is like so extra in the best way. So I got a pin. I got a little bag we'll open in a second. Oh, this one has my name on it. I have a card. Maybe she knows who I am. That would be so cool. And then I got Bookmarks with a Reading List, Where Darkness Blooms by Andrea Hanna, Flowers See Everything. First of all, this is one with sunflowers on the cover for those of you having trouble. The town of Bishop is known for exactly two things: reoccurring windstorms and an endless field of sunflowers that stretches farther than the eye can see, and women. Missing women. So when 3 women disappear one stormy night, no one in Bishop's is surprised. The case is closed and their daughters are left in their dusty shared house with the shattered pieces of their lives. Until the wind kicks up a terrible secret at their mother's much delayed memorial. With secrets come the lies each girl is forced to confront. After caring for the other girls, Delilah would like to move on with her boyfriend Bennett, but she can't bear his touch. And Whitney has already lost both her mother and her girlfriend, Eleanor, and now her only solace is an old weather vane that seems to whisper to her. So there's like secrets and maybe some flower magic, and it sounds very cool. Really quick, I just want to show you what she sent me because this is all extra stuff. They don't have to do this. Okay, so I got a little chapstick and it's got books and flowers on it. Really cute. Another Pango sticker, dragonfly magnetic bookmark, some more like book stickers, and then the Alchemist Path Book Lovers Tea Collection Jasmine Green Tea. How cute. Okay, then I want to read this card really quick. So it's a thank you card. Thank you so much for purchasing a book bundle from Briarwood Books. I hope you love your new books. Happy reading. And then she put her Instagram so I can follow her and tag her, which is really cool. So I will have to do that. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Botanical Daughter by Noah Medlock. I've been wanting to read this one for like 2 years and I'm hoping to get to it soon. This is a loose Frankenstein retelling. It's an unusual thing to live in a botanical garden, but Simon and Gregor are an unusual pair of gentlemen. Hidden away from the disappearing tattle of Victorian London, they are free to follow their own interests without interference. For Simon, this means working his taxidermical art. Gregor's business is exotic plants, lucrative but harmless enough, until his latest acquisitions, a strange fungus which shows off signs of intellect beyond any plant he's seen, inspires him to attempt a masterwork, true intelligent life from plant matter. So I don't know if they create like a plant human, but it sounds so cool. Into the Bright Open by Sherry Demeline. This is a secret garden retelling. It is part of the Remixed Classic series. This is a young adult standalone. Georgina Bay in 1901, when a terrible accident leaves her orphaned at 15, Mary Craven is sent to the wilderness of the Georgina Bay to live with an uncle she's never met. At first, the impassive, calculating girl believes this new manor will be just like the one she left in Toronto, cold, isolating, and anything but cheerful, where employees are treated as staff and never like family. But as she slowly allows her heart to be open like the first blooms of spring, Mary comes to find this strange place and its strange people, most of whom are indigenous, may be where she can finally call home. So such a unique sounding retelling. And lastly, we have Of Earthly Delights by Goldie Moldovsky. This came out last year. So excited about it. Aspiring artist Rose Pauley is not happy moving from her home in New York City right before her senior year of high school, but on her first miserable day in Connecticut, she meets Hart Hargrove, and the two share an immediate, undeniable connection. Hart introduces Rose to his slice of paradise, the immense private gardens nestled behind the Hargrove family mansion. There, the two spend a fever dream of a summer together, but as their bond blossoms into love, Rose can't shake the feeling that all is not as it seems. When Rose uncovers the truth about the garden, she's forced to question how genuine her love story truly is. So I think this one's gonna have kind of gothic vibes about it. It sounds great. Okay, you guys, so that is the haul that I have gotten since last year's readathon. I will link last year's flower themed book haul as well because I have a ton more recommendation ideas for you in there. I also have a plant magic recommendation video and a garden recommendation video, like books about gardens or that have gardens. So I have a few for you to get your TBR all set up. I'll have my personal TBR for the readathon out in just a day or two. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl, as I have a lot of flower theme and fun content planned over there. And I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.